For sure, younger male energy that passed and died too soon, and that was kind of coming through on the way here.
No.
The Hollywood medium Tyler Henry has been all over TV recently, especially after he was blown to popularity by the Kardashians. And he goes around Hollywood talking to big name people, telling them all about psychic stuff. Now, there have been a lot of people that have come out in the, not too future past and have basically said, like, he's full of the brown stuff. He's not exactly he's not a psychic. He's just out there for the fame. And I'm all for that, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's got to make that bread. But, he had an episode not too long ago with Boy George, who is a huge skeptic. And I've got to say, it was quite funny because Tyler Henry was like a deer in headlights. Boy George's manager had to come out and be like, look, you need to open up about this stuff, otherwise he's got nothing to work with, which was just it's just the weirdest situation. So we're going to take a look at the episode today because it's actually hilarious.
Tyler.
Hello, how are you?
I'm George.
Oh, great to meet you.
Come in.
My computer forgot that its audio should be coming through headphones. What's going on here? Let's try that again.
I'm Boy George. I'm a singer, an artist, DJ. Interesting. I mean, I'm intrigued. I heard about Tyler through my manager, who was very into whole clairvoyant kind of medium type of thing. He was really keen for me to do it.
Notice there that he was not keen to do it himself, as he's even, he's a self-proclaimed skeptic when it comes to this kind of thing. And that's where things start to get difficult because, obviously, like I've said before, the way that Tyler Henry works is he throws things out there like generic stuff. And then when your emotions latch onto these things, this is how most psychics work. They latch onto things and then they hone in on that. But because Boy George gives away absolutely nothing, Tyler Henry's there just throwing shit at a wall, hoping that something will stick, and you can see the sweat beads off of his forehead, and it is just insane.
Do you know who I am?
No, not really.
Okay.
No, sorry.
Cap. Everyone knows who Boy George is. That is absolute cap. I refuse to believe that Tyler Henry has no idea who this guy is.
My last boyfriend didn't know who I was either until about 6 months into our relationship. And then he was like, you really look like Boy George. I was like, well, that's who I am, silly boy.
Right, notice here, clean forehead, all right? No sweat beads dripping so far. He's looking comfortable. He's looking relaxed. Just take note of that because that doesn't last the whole episode.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad that you don't know too much about me.
I'll just kind of start scribbling. We'll see what comes through. We'll see what makes sense. We'll see what doesn't. Yeah, I just have a couple people popping in.
I'm a bit uncomfortable with talking with people that have passed. I feel it's a bit weird.
For sure, younger male energy that passed and died too soon, and that was kind of coming through on the way here.
No.
Straight off the bat, no, nothing. That's just not the case. And then you see Tyler Henry's face. This is the look of, the fuck? No, you're supposed to go along with it. You're supposed to agree with it.
He's been a bit reserved.
That was Boy George's manager right there.
Okay, all right. There's a reference to alcoholism and then a reference to heroin addiction. He's referencing to what looks like 3 years where I feel like I'm on the right track, and then I fall off the boat. And I'm getting back into some of these mindsets and these behaviors, and then I pass away. Do you know of anybody
Oh, a lot of people.
who would...
It's just giving him nothing to work with. I feel bad for Tyler Henry in this episode because he is hopelessly throwing shit at a wall in the hopes that something's gonna stick, and he's just there stoic yeah, I know a few people like that. It's just no fucks given.
have dealt with both, but with both, though, at the same time?
A lot of people. It's quite hard for me to kind of pinpoint that on any one particular person.
He must be nervous, this kid. He's getting no help from George.
He is literally giving him nothing. George is there just kind of sat stoic. He's not letting him have it.
Specific thing here is that there was a performance done after the individual died. That was in their memory.
But he did write wonderful words for him at the funeral.
Now, this is the thing that gets me is obviously his manager chimes in and is saying this stuff. This is very common knowledge, right? This is very, very common knowledge. You can search up a little bit of history on Boy George, and you'll probably find out most of this stuff. And this is what irks me the most, because this isn't just your run-of-the-mill guy. This is a high notoriety celebrity, right? Like, with very easy to find information readily available online. It's so easy for Tyler Henry to walk in and be like, I have no idea who you are. If he walked into my house, I'd have no doubt that this guy had no idea who I was. If he starts telling me stuff that's not available on social media, I'd be like, yes. But so far, stuff's just coming up that we kind of generally already knew about.
If someone did a show and devoted something to him, that might be the gist, but the specific focus is electric guitar.
He's so obviously Steve Strange. Yeah, he doesn't want to give him too much. And I don't...
Let him do it. I'm telling you, he's gonna break George. This kid's got it.
So does that fit any, to your knowledge, for you personally?
It's quite vague. It's quite vague.
This is what I love about George, right? Is he's just like, yeah, that could work with some people, but the information you're giving me is quite vague. You know, like, let's be more to the point. And this is what I want as well.
As a medium, I need the validation. It's such an essential part of the process. It makes it a little tough when I do a reading and someone isn't really willing to validate or willing to really figure out where something could fit.
Okay, so
Look at the sweat beads. He is sweating. He's like, oh shit, this is not going well. But the thing is this makes fantastic watching, doesn't it? Like, you need an episode like this where you have someone like George who kind of pushes against that. Because if you have it where, like, everyone just lets Tyler Henry win, it gets a bit boring. You need people to push against him sometimes for good viewing, right? And I love it. But at the same time, like, he works off of validation. I'm sure most psychics do, right? But at the same time, it's like, that's so they know they're going down the right path, in my opinion. I'm not exactly, like, the biggest fan of psychics, in my honest opinion. I'd love to be proven wrong, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of them.
okay. Is that a yes or a no, though?
Yeah, no, nothing really springs to mind.
This kid's brilliant, and he's not letting him in. Do you understand?
Well, I'm tricky. I'm a tricky customer. I'm sure there are other people that are much more open to the idea of speaking to people on the other side, but I'm not necessarily one of them.
Like, I just desperately want, like, this whole situation to just, like, I want to, you know, when you see this kind of thing and it's like, it's just awkward watching. You watch Tyler Henry kind of like, he's like squirming a little bit because he's like, you're supposed to be working with me here, but it giving him nothing.
Well, let's assess. I can't shake that other energy.
When a piece of information comes through that isn't validated, the image stays the same, and I'm not able to continue with the reading until the person can understand, or I can understand, where it fits.
I just kind of have to know that I'm at least going in a certain direction, and if we're not, I'll try to kind of figure out where it fits.
I'm gonna have a word with him.
So this is the thing, right? Like, why does Tyler Henry need that? Do you know what I mean? You're the psychic. You should know if you're going in the right direction. Like, you should be like cocksure with your ability, where you're like, yeah, well, I know I'm going in the right direction. I know that this is something that's coming through. I'm being told this, right? Like I say, I'm probably the biggest skeptic of psychics that you're ever going to meet. So, you know, I'm always going to be cynical about this kind of thing. It's nothing personal to Tyler Henry, like, but I'm just a very cynical person when it comes to this kind of thing.
But just watching it inside, so interested watching it, because I don't know if you're, like, aware that he's getting things ridiculously accurate, and I think he really needs to feel the energy to be able to follow up on that. So,
But you can't tell me what to do.
No, but
You know
obviously
this was
we're
going
doing
to
one.
happen.
I'm in absolute, complete shock with how that went. Like, I had no idea it was going to go that way.
I've said my bit, that was all, because as someone who's got some experience in this,
Sure.
you do, the more you get, the more you give. That's
Yeah,
all.
but, you know,
That's the
I'm,
point.
I'm not you.
Clearly.
Unfortunately for me, I'm not you.
Love you.
Well, yeah, you know,
That
and
was helpful.
And if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, and that's kind of the thing. Is regardless of
Yeah.
where that goes. Unfortunately, I work with images. I wish I could have it in the ear, but
Yeah.
not the case. I would.
Now, and then after this point, right, suddenly, like, just completely miraculously, George opens up about everything. Tyler Henry's getting it all bang on the nose every single time, and George is completely dumbfounded, right? He's completely amazed by how accurate Tyler Henry was. And, you know, if you want to watch the full interview or whatever, you literally just search on E! Entertainment. This is the video right here. Tyler Henry clashes with Skeptic Boy George before RHOBH. I think that's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Husband steps in. I don't know. But you know, it's I don't know. I don't know. It's really. I am always going to be cynical of this kind of thing because I don't fully believe in psychics and stuff like this. I'd love to be able to, but there's just like something about it that just doesn't quite sit right. I feel like it's all, you know, it's feeding off of what you're kind of getting. And Tyler Henry to me is no different. There's nothing against Tyler Henry personally. It's just I don't believe what he does. But there we go. What's your guys' opinion on this whole situation? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Do you think that George was being like ridiculously stubborn and he shouldn't have been? Do you think he should have been a bit more open? Let me know what you guys think. Again, down in the comments. While you're down there, jump to get the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.